We're at the last week. This is the last week. Final presentation speech. So what are you going to do? You know, I thought I was going to have all these notes and I had all this stuff written out and I was going to talk to you about it. But I said, you know what? I'm going to do something very direct. I'm going to break all the rules. And if you look at your syllabus, look at your student syllabus, what are the objectives? And it's very simple. And I'm going to read it so that you understand it and know it. They may flash it up down there on the screen or cut away to it and all that. But I thought the best way to do it was to simply read it to you. And it says the objectives for this week is to utilize the elements of what have you been doing for 7 weeks. We required readings, your speeches, your analysis, your self-analysis, your learning activities to prepare and submit a final speech presentation. What is that on? Whatever you choose. Whatever you think that best demonstrates your strength in giving a speech, making a presentation, giving a report is what you choose. Now is the time, as they say, this is where the rubber hits the road. This is the most important part of the entire class. This is where you show me what your best is. Now, throughout this entire class, there have been some failures. There's been some tripping, there's been some falling, there's been some things that you really didn't like and things you learned from. So the trick, and one of the things that you have to remember to do, as you should have done, is go back and look at some of your speeches. Correct those slight, small things that you don't like. Just make sure that it doesn't adjust your personality, because your personality comes out in your speaking, and that's your most important asset. Everyone has or has experienced something that they can give to others. And the whole point of giving a presentation, the whole point of education, the whole point of why we live in this world and do what we do and serve a living God that we do is to serve others. So when you give a speech, you have to remember that audience is looking to you for guidance. They're looking to you for expertise. They're looking to you for information. And this is where you shine. So if you go on through the rest of your syllabus, it'll give you all the information that you're going to need. Everything that you've done in the past weeks should have brought you to this time. All I want you to do is, if you don't remember anything else, have some fun. Make this the one that best makes you shine. That was not good English at all, but you get the point. It makes you shine. It brings out your positives. By now, you should have known, wow, I remember that. Don't do that. I remember. I've got some idiosyncrasies that I have because I constantly look away from the camera and people keep going, you know, you have to look here. Well, that's why I don't do TV news. That's why I don't do film like that, because I know my personality and my idiosyncrasy. It's all over the place. Another one for me, and yes, I'm telling you this at the end because then by now, you've already developed your own way of doing your speaking. I can never do this. You ever see people talk and they put their fingers together like this and talk? What does that do? Have you ever watched people and their hands slipped and they're spending more time getting their hands back together than they are speaking? Because the one thing that people don't understand about a mental process is that it takes more mental processing for fine motor skills to keep your fingers like this than to just simply sit and put your hands together and sit still. Those things that you've probably learned as you've gone on and done more and more and more speaking to realize that it's as natural as speaking to a friend. So I'm not speaking to a group of students. It's not all about everybody taking the class. It's about me, and it's about you, and it's about your final speech presentation, and you shining and giving the best example of your presentation and your speaking that you possibly can. I hope you had a great time. It's been a great 8 weeks. I think that it's been pleasurable for me. I've gotten to know you over the time and looked at your writing and answered all of your questions, I hope, and all of your emails and all of those things, and probably did a few phone counseling sessions as well. But you know, the most important thing is that your feedback and your evaluation helps us make this class and make this university a better place to live, a better place to grow, and a better place to be educated. So thank you. Have a great time. I still haven't remembered the title of the class, but I think that given a few more times, I think I'll get it. No, I'm just teasing. Have a wonderful day and have a great rest of your life.